A video I did about 6 months ago on Sir Alex Ferguson's last 7 signings as Manchester United manager is our third most viewed video of all time, and our video looking at the 7 subs for Fergie's last game against West Brom isn't far behind. It's clear to see that there is still a great thirst for all things Sir Alex then, and ever since that video I've been asked to take a look at Sir Alex Ferguson's first 7 signings as United manager as well. I had put it off because Ferguson took charge of Manchester United in 1986, meaning none of the players are still active in terms of the playing side of the game at least. Presumably those of you that were keen for us to do this video were well aware of that though, and in the end I figured it can sometimes be more interesting to find out what a player has done after retirement than in their later careers anyway. So here are Sir Alex Ferguson's first 7 Man United signings. Where are they now? Brian McClair, Red Army Bet Ambassador. Sir Alex Ferguson's first signing as Manchester United manager was Scottish forward Brian McClair. Uncapped at the time, McClair had scored prolifically at Celtic, bagging 99 goals in 145 league games. It was an impressive record for a 22-year-old, and it prompted Ferguson to offer £400,000 for McClair. Celtic wanted a British record £2 million though, and in the end, the fee was settled at £850,000 by a tribunal. McClair was an instant success. In fact, his first season was his best at Old Trafford, becoming the first player since George Best to score more than 20 league goals in a single season for the club. He went on to spend 11 years playing under Ferguson, departing in 1998, a year before United completed a historic treble. McClair went on to play 11 games for Motherwell before hanging up his boots the same year. His first foray into coaching came as assistant manager at Blackburn Rovers, followed by 9 years as the director of Manchester United's Youth Academy, a role which he left to link up with the Scottish FA in 2015. McClair resigned from that position in July 2016 and now works as an ambassador for Red Army Bet, a gambling website which donates half its profits to Manchester United Supporters Trust. Viv Anderson, PLAYON Pro CEO. The first black footballer to represent the England national team, Viv Anderson was an adventurous, tireless and intelligent right back. He was also Sir Alex Ferguson's second signing as Manchester United manager, joining the Red Devils from Arsenal for £250,000. Anderson had played his best football with Nottingham Forest and Arsenal, and he won the last of his 30 caps for England shortly after signing for United, but he still registered 69 appearances in his 3.5 years at Old Trafford. His fate was sealed following the arrival of Dennis Irwin in 1990, and Anderson moved on to Sheffield Wednesday. Brief stints at Barnsley and Middlesbrough followed, both including coaching duties as well, but Anderson hasn't worked in football directly since leaving Borough in 1995. Instead, he has founded PLAYON Pro, an organisation intended to help professional sports people with the transition into ordinary life following retirement. Anderson, now aged 62, also does some work for the Football Association as a Goodwill Ambassador. Steve Bruce, Sheffield Wednesday manager. One of the most prominent figures from Sir Alex Ferguson's early reign as Manchester United manager in the game today, due to success as a manager, Steve Bruce joined Manchester United from Norwich City in December 1987. The move set United back £800,000, but Bruce would prove to be an inspired signing. A fantastic leader on the pitch, with a never-say-die attitude, Bruce formed an excellent centre-back partnership with Gary Pallister 18 months later, and Bruce would soon be named as club captain. Bruce spent almost a decade at Old Trafford, where he won 12 trophies, before seeing out his career at Birmingham City and Sheffield United. As a manager, Bruce has become a championship promotion specialist, guiding both Birmingham City and Hull City into the top flight twice. He was unable to replicate that feat at his last club Aston Villa, with whom he reached a playoff final, and he's now managing mid-table outfit Sheffield Wednesday. Jim Leighton, sales manager. Jim Leighton was signed by Sir Alex Ferguson, having been Ferguson's first-choice goalkeeper during his 8 years at Aberdeen. That was an immensely successful period for the duo, but their relationship hadn't always been perfect, and it went from bad to worse at Old Trafford. He served as United's number 1 for 2 seasons, but was dropped the club's 1990 FA Cup final replay, having conceded 3 goals in the previous fixture. That was it for Leighton and Ferguson, and as such, for Leighton and Manchester United. The Scottish international turned out for Dundee and Hibernian before returning to Aberdeen, where he ended his career. Leighton hung up his gloves in the year 2000, and he spent the next 15 years working as a goalkeeping coach, mostly at Aberdeen. In 2015, Leighton decided he'd had enough of the sport that he had been involved with all his life, and in 2017, he was hired by NorthSafe as their UK sales manager. Lee Sharp, TV, radio, and after dinner speaking. Signed by Sir Alex from Torquay United shortly after his 17th birthday, the teenage white man registered 30 appearances in his debut season. That was the mark of the high regard Fergie held him in, and he scored a hat-trick against Arsenal, won the PFA Young Player of the Year award, and broke into the England team in the next couple of seasons, all before celebrating his 20th birthday. Right when he looked like one of the hottest prospects in the country though, Sharp was sidelined, first by injury and then illness. By the time he returned to full fitness, Ryan Giggs had broken into the team on the left wing, and Andrei Konchelskis had been signed to play on the right. He stuck it out through the reoccurring injuries until Konchelskis left the club, but just as he felt he might be able to return to the club's starting 11, David Beckham emerged as a top-class talent on the right flank. Sharp left for Leeds United in 1996, but by that stage he was already gone. He made just 30 league appearances for the club in 3 years before dropping down the divisions with Bradford, Exeter and eventually Garforth Town. Following retirement, he made numerous TV appearances on the likes of Celebrity Love Island, Dancing on Ice and even Coronation Street. He now makes occasional radio appearances and can be hired as an after-dinner speaker. Mal Donaghy, IFA's Disability Programme. When one talks about Sir Alex Ferguson's most important Manchester United signings, the addition of Northern Irish international Mal Donaghy from Luton Town at the age of 31 is unlikely to spring to mind. The experienced pro proved to be a shrewd addition by Ferguson though, bringing calmness, composure and versatility to their backline. He was a regular at either left back or centre back up until Pallister's arrival, at which point he became a very useful squad player. He left at the age of 34 for Chelsea, where he had 2 further impressive seasons before hanging up his boots, still a full Northern Irish international at the time. The 1988 League Cup winner has kept a pretty low profile since then, but as far as we can tell, he is now involved primarily with the IFA's disability programme and most notably Northern Ireland cerebral palsy football team whom he has coached. Ralph Milne. Dead. In a rather sombre end to this 7, Sir Alex Ferguson's 7th signing as Manchester United manager Ralph Milne passed away in 2015. Considered an all-time great at Dundee United, with whom he starred as the club won a league title in 1983, Milne was a really gifted midfielder. Milne was known to like a drink and have a bit of a gambling problem, which didn't make him sound like a typical Ferguson player, but he was brought to Old Trafford from Bristol City for £170,000 in November of 1998. Things didn't work out, in fact, Ferguson reckoned Milne was his worst ever signing, and having been displaced by Sharp in their starting 11, he went on loan to West Ham. It was at Upton Park that Milne played his final game of professional football in England, aged 28. He subsequently picked up a groin injury, which required surgery, and barring a brief spell in Hong Kong, that was that. Following retirement, Milne worked in a pub and continued to drink heavily, sadly dying of liver problems at the age of 54 in 2015. So that's it for Hour 7. Thanks for watching, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications for more from us if you enjoyed the video, and you can now also follow us on Twitter for more ramblings from me. Our username is simply @HITC Sevens.